Alright, we got a 2v2 game in Napoleon. My name is jmartin. Thanks for watching. And I'm right here. This is me. And over there, that's Terminator. And then over here, we have a couple players from Devil's Legion. And I'm not really sure what these guys' names were because they kind of were like Roman numeral 1 and Roman numeral 2. So it's probably like it's kind of a neat little clan identification thing, you know, like a soccer team or something. But anyway, I don't know if these guys have names or not, but that's them. And I have a couple things written down here. Oh, so I've figured out in the last 2 weeks I've played exactly 2 games of Napoleon, and you're gonna get to watch them both. The previous one was the 3v3 against a couple of players in this clan. I don't remember if they were the same players or not. And then this one right here that Terminator and I did, and I made a ton of mistakes in this game that were largely more like meta level mistakes, I think. I mean, I don't think I played terribly well. I've been playing Napoleon less and less lately, and my skills are degrading at a fairly alarming rate, honestly. But one mistake that I made, and something kind of worth talking about, is that in this game I took a build that I'm really not comfortable with. I haven't used this Prussia build in like 4 or 5 months. Well, that might be an exaggeration. A really long time. Like, say 3 months is a fair bit, and I just wasn't, and just wasn't really comfortable with it, and that's kind of an underrated thing to have in the back of your pocket there. So, it's kind of important when you play a game to be really comfortable with your build, and I wasn't, man, and I didn't use this build terribly well. I'm not deploying my light infantry terribly intelligently right now, and that kind of sucks. So the first thing is you got to be comfortable with your build, and I was not. And I deployed my build fairly poorly because of that. What's this guy got? Oh yeah, I remember. So if you look at my end of the game, there's a bunch of old guard over here that I wanted to shoot with my lights, is what I'm trying to do. Terminator side of the game is a little more interesting. They roll up and get a light infantry fight. Here comes a cav charge. Come in that direction. There you go. There you go. Cav charge. Now this is interesting because Terminator lets it hit. A lot of times you see players try to run their lights away. Terminator's solution was to take the hit, which is gonna hurt, but he countercharges with Cav, is what he does. So that's a different way to do it. Generally, what I'll do is try to run my lights away and try to get away from the Cav, but Terminator's solution was to run more infantry up to shoot at him, is kind of what he was doing. So it's kind of interesting. And then the Terminator continues the charge. His 2 cav units are pretty much spent by the time they got done running through the cav there, but he gets a good hit into those lights right there, which is kind of interesting. So what else do I do wrong in this game? Oh, a cav charge comes into me, and you can see, look at that, I do run my lights away. And this guy was pretty aggressive. I felt like it took me a lot longer to route this cav than it should have. Oh no, maybe not this cav. Later in the game, this guy uses cav pretty damn well against me, but those guys get their cav in. And over here, this guy is advancing 2, and in this game, what I kind of wanted to do was kite him on this flank. I didn't really want to shoot it up because he kind of outnumbers me, so he can get around me. And I'm really deployed poorly here. Like, I have a really bad orientation to his line, and I really should have already been moving. I was playing, like, that's just fucking stupid, you know what I mean? Like, I just think I wasn't even paying attention there. He's gonna fucking wreck me. Like, this is not intelligent. This is fucking retard shit. Like, I just sit there and get shot at. I wonder why, oh, there they go. Yeah, like, I just sit there and get shot at because I'm a fucking dumbass. Man, did not play well in this game. And, I get a lot of my cav in, I counter. I use my cav really poorly here. I had sun on my cav in and he'd squared, and I think I'm retreating now, but I took a real beating right here. Oh, I think I finally realized what's going on, and I start to finally get around to retreating. I'm not very good at the game. Terminator is still shooting it up here. It looks like this guy's pushed some line up to shoot back at Term. And Term has killed all this guy's cav now, which is a nice thing to have in your pocket when you're playing as Prussia. He's got 3 of his own cav units left. So he's going to continue doing that. I should probably stop moving the camera around so much, but it's awkward because I want to watch Terminator's game because it's a little more interesting than mine. And at this point, I finally realize that I'm getting completely fucked up by this guy, and I start to run away. And another cav charge comes through from this guy, and that was a depleted unit that actually did some more damage than I felt like it should have. And right here, this is kind of interesting. He keeps moving his lineup pretty aggressively, and I keep running my lights back to try to maintain range advantage. But my lights really weren't doing that much damage to these old guard, really. You know, like, I wasn't really using my lights terribly well, and his volts here I could have been shooting at, and I wasn't. And I just wasn't playing very good, man. I just wasn't being aggressive. And where I was being aggressive, like, dumbly. You know? That is what's going on. So, Termi looks like he's doing pretty good. If he can get all these guys dead. I really think, young guard, guard seaman. I really feel like this French build here is not ideal, and I really just, I'm saying, because, man, if you're playing France, you gotta bring old guard. Like, you gotta bring old guard. There's no other way around it. I don't think this guy had any old guard. At least I haven't been able to see him. And old guard just rock, man. You gotta bring the old guard if you're playing. Gotta bring the old guard. And this dude continues to advance, and I am, man, my lights really are not causing any casualties. Do you ever get games like that sometimes where it just feels like, you know, I know the game is kind of flipping a algorithmic coin to see if a bullet hits or not, but sometimes you have games where you just feel like, man, I'm just not dealing any fucking casualties, you know? Like, my lights have been shooting at these units the whole time, and they've dealt a grand total of, well, 120 casualties across a bunch of different units. Like, just was not being smart, man. Not being smart. Trying to shoot his lights here. And this is kind of why I don't like this Prussia build, because, I mean, I had 20 units, but I don't know what it is. Like, with Prussia, I'll bring 20 units, but I just feel like, I think, you know what it is? It's that I bring too much cav when I play as Prussia. I brought 6 cav, and that just isn't how I play. And so I play this game with too much cav. And do I hit square? I think I barely hit square there. I think I bring too much cav for these 2v2s, and in these games, if you're going to bring a bunch of cav, you got to be really fucking aggressive, right? And my playstyle, I think, has evolved away from that. Like, Terminator and Ratu, those guys are even pointy. They're really good at that, but my playstyle has evolved to be much more plotting and cautious and mechanical, and I'm used to playing without cav, essentially, now, because most of the games I play are, like, 3v4s or whatever. So when I gave myself this build with a whole bunch of fucking cav in it, I really just didn't know what to do with myself. And I didn't use my cav well at all. You know? Like, I just fucking retarded. Really. It was not pretty. I think I might actually route one of his old guard here. But that's me thinking about my game there. Yeah, his cav fucked me up there. I didn't even hurt them, really. It's a really depressing game. And you know, like, if I'd used my cav better, like, I could, if I'd have pulled all that cav I had left over this direction, I could have crashed that flank if I really tried hard enough, I think. But I didn't. And you see that I'm getting my ass kicked now. Like, this unit, these 3 units here get a little chain route going. And I'm having to run away from this guy. And I'm not really hurting this guy that much either. Like, he has 2 old guard that are at 160 that are at pretty respectable numbers. And I don't have much to do with it. This is the other guy's guard seaman unit that I think is moving over to threaten me with. And right about here, I kind of have to tell Terminator that I am getting my ass kicked. And I just have to get the fuck out of there. And so this is me getting my ass kicked by this. I don't remember which Devil's Legion, either 1 or 2. I don't remember who was who. But he just, well, he played better than me. And I was just also really disappointed in the quality of play that I offered. I just felt like I didn't do much. Didn't do much interesting at all, really. I mean, you know, part of it, a lot of it too, is, you know, you gotta realize, I say this a lot, and it's just something I forgot. really, is that you have to realize the nature of your build kind of requires you to play a certain way. Like I had 6 cav here, I should have been really aggressive. Um, but I didn't do that, right? I remember a long time ago I posted the game I played against Bomb Rush, where Bomb Rush beat me. And if I go back and watch that video, I say pretty much the same thing I'm saying now, is that I brought a build and I didn't execute the style of that build that I should have, right? Look at all these units routing. This is fucking ridiculous. And it's the same thing. Bomb Rush beat me because he played his game and I didn't play my game. You know what I mean? And that is like this huge common denominator. And this guy is going to beat me with, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This guy still has 12 fucking units left. You know? Like, oh my god, it's fucking depressing. Meanwhile, while I've been over there enhancing the suck, Termi has been busy on his end. And what's kind of interesting, actually, another teachable moment here, is that this game happens symmetrical. Like, their player here beats their opponent, me, and our player here beats their opponent, Terminator, wins. And the question is, I've talked about this before in battles, but when you're playing a team game, it's important to survive as long as possible, right? You want to buy as much time or deal as many casualties as possible for your team, and I kind of went into survival mode right here because I really needed to buy time for Terminator to be able to move his army around, you know. And that's me wasting cav units. That's always fun. It's me wasting cav units. I did manage to reform a line here, and about this time, Terminator looks over and he tells me that he thinks I'm doing okay, which, let's be honest, he was just saying that to be nice, but I'm going to put up a little bit of a fight here, but I am pretty much getting my ass kicked. I think arguably that if this guy's lights weren't on the field, then I would be doing better. He still has old guard running around, man. Like, those are the same old guard that I was trying to kill earlier. I didn't do shit, man. I didn't do shit. Ugh. Man, I didn't do shit. I'm going to give you some fast forward here, because you can probably see where this game's going. I'm going to try to... oh, did I routed a unit? That's weird. This guy's shooting me up. This dude's volt. This dude got really good value out of his volts. Mostly, I guess, because I didn't challenge him the whole game. But, he got really good value out of his volts. I'm also stupid. I made a mistake. I kept my lights and light infantry behavior way too long. Like, these guys are very tired. By the time I realize it, they're going to be up to exhausted. And I kind of fucked that up. See? That's those little things that when you don't play for a while, you forget about. You know? And so this dude has to pull back a little bit to reorient where he's gone because Terminator's running up on him. I think those are the last units of the right side player, and now Terminator's going to get to rumble in on this left side player here. And we got a lucky poach on the general there. Term devoted a bunch of cav to that. That got that right there. And so this guy pulls back, and we're going to form a new line. Gonna form a new line. Well, it was kind of, I don't know if it's funny or not, but earlier at one point in the game, this guy calls me a fag for kiting, I guess, or whatever. And I wasn't terribly offended because I'm pretty comfortable with my sexuality, so I didn't feel threatened there. But that is a little rude. That is a little rude. You don't want to do that. This is probably the only good thing I do all game, is I had saved a Lancer unit, and I think I'm going to chew through a couple of his lights with those Lancers, is what I'm going to do. I was using Chasseur, not Volts. Okay. Well, he got good value out of those, because I didn't challenge him, and he's still moving up there. This guy could crush me here, kind of whenever he wants to get in the mood, pretty much. Yeah, see my Lancers? Go Lancers. They actually did some nice work. Lancers route all those lights. If only I'd have done that earlier in the game, this might have turned out much different, right? And, yeah, Lancer's still going. And I got my lights here, I'm kiting like a motherfucker to stave off this guy. My micro was bad. I mean, I was moving too late everywhere. Look at this. Dude, I'm so bad at Napoleon. I got a fucking line unit that it got, I didn't move it, it got stuck there, and he just shot me to death, man. Like, that's bad. Don't do that. That's the kind of thing I make fun of other people for doing. No, I'm doing it. It's not good, man. What else is going on? The game, once Terminator beat his opponent, the game really wasn't in doubt. Terminator came out of that with a lot of his army left. And not only that, but the majority of Termy's units were pretty healthy. Like, these units are all at 80 plus, so... from that point on, the game was pretty academic, but I got rolled by this guy. I got rolled by this guy pretty good. I think that's my unit, so I have 3 units left at this point. Yeah. And he's got the 6 left, so... Gonna win this game. Gonna win this game, despite my valiant attempts to lose it. So, yeah, there you go. Anyway, so hey, GG to Devil's Legion guys. Good opponents, man. Good opponents. And if I'm going to take this game seriously, I got to do some more practicing, man. I got to play more often. My gaming has been a little curtailed lately. I've got a bunch of shit going on in real life, and so actually, honestly, spending a lot of time managing that fucking Shogun tournament, which is going great, by the way. Going great, by the way. So, working on that mostly, and yeah, this is kind of the end. I go into meet shield for Term. I think I'm out of ammo right there, and Term's gonna be able to finish it off. And then what's going to happen is you see this little unit here is going to come back from routing, and Terminator's like, fuck, it's going to take forever to walk over there. So I send my general. It's pretty much the only contribution I made in the entire fucking game. Anyway, I got to work a little harder. I got to work a little harder at this game. Got to get some games in. Oh, and they routed before I even got there. So my general lives, although I took a casualty in that engagement somehow. How the fuck does that work? Yeah, this is embarrassing, dude. Oh, that's me. I'm Tit Biscuit, so... Yeah, this guy kicked my ass. So, hey, GG, Devil's Legion. I guess I was playing number 2. Because number 2 had more kills. Anyway, bye.